Attention passionate Dallas, COWBOYS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Dallas, COWBOYS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, sit tight because what I'm about to tell you might just shake up the entire NFC East landscape. The Dallas Cowboys, a team that's been battling through injuries, inconsistency, and a defense that's shown flashes but also some gaps, might be on the verge of making a move that could define their season and even their future. Rumors are swirling around the Cincinnati Bengals and a potential blockbuster trade involving Trey Hendrickson, a player who's been making waves across the league for quite a while now. And if this deal goes through, it could be one of those game-changing moments for the Cowboys, especially on the defensive front, which, let's be honest, has been a bit of a roller coaster ride this season. So here's the scoop. According to multiple sources, the Bengals are seriously considering trading Trey Hendrickson, potentially for a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Yes, you heard that right, a future draft pick, and a pretty high one at that. Why would Cincinnati do that? Well, the Bengals are in a bit of a cap squeeze right now, with around $12 million in cap space and a record of 3-4, which isn't where they hope to be at this point in the season. They're also in a rebuild mode, focusing on developing their young talent, especially on the offensive line after losing Burrow to injuries and struggles. The trade would help them free up around $14 million in cap space, easing some financial pressure and giving them more flexibility to build around Joe Burrow, who's been under fire quite a bit lately. Now, for the Cowboys, this isn't just about adding another player. It's about bringing in a proven pass rusher, someone who can immediately elevate their already solid front seven. Trey Hendrickson, a multiple-time Pro Bowler, is 30 years old but remains one of the most effective edge rushers in the league. His stats are eye-popping. Over his career, he's accumulated an impressive 68. 5 sacks and 152 quarterback hits, and in terms of advanced metrics, he's ranked in the top 5 among edge rushers with a PFF grade of 89. That's elite production, folks. In the 2025 season, Hendrickson recorded 5 sacks, placing him among the league's best, along with 22 pressures, a win rate of 28%, and 4 forced fumbles. And what's even more impressive is that he's been remarkably healthy, with 0 injuries so far this season, which is a big deal for a player of his age. What makes Hendrickson such a perfect fit for the Cowboys? Well, his style of play, relentless, aggressive, and technically sound, complements Dallas's defensive scheme perfectly. His ability to generate pressure, especially from the edge, would help take some of the burden off Micah Parsons, who's already been putting up huge numbers with 8 sacks this season. Imagine Hendrickson lining up alongside Parsons, creating a dual threat that offenses would have to account for. Hendrickson's pressure rate of 19%, combined with his 2 sacks per post snap, makes him a nightmare for quarterbacks. And that's exactly what Dallas needs to boost their pass rush, which has been somewhat inconsistent this year. The team currently ranks around 15th in sacks, with about 20 sacks total, so adding a player of Hendrickson's caliber could be the boost they need to climb higher in the league rankings. Another fascinating aspect is Hendrickson's ability to double-team effectively, often facing 75% double teams, yet still managing to produce pressure and sacks. He's comparable to some of the league's top edge rushers in terms of hurry attempts and pressure. His comparison to players like Thibodeaux from a year ago, who delivered over 150 pressures during his time with the Giants, shows just how impactful Hendrickson can be when fully engaged. His consistent performance, especially in clutch moments, could be the catalyst for a late-season surge, especially with the Cowboys fighting to solidify their position in the NFC East and aiming for a deeper playoff run this year. But let's talk about the bigger picture here. The Cowboys are currently sitting at a record of 3-4, which isn't ideal, especially when you consider the high expectations for this squad. The defense has shown flashes of brilliance, but injuries along the defensive line, including players like DeMarcus Lawrence and others, have hampered their ability to sustain pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Bringing in Hendrickson would not only improve the pass rush, but also add veteran leadership and a relentless motor that could energize the entire defense. Remember, Hendrickson's play style is very much about persistence. He's one of those players who never gives up on a play, constantly chasing quarterbacks and disrupting rhythm. And when it comes to the playoff picture, Hendrickson's addition could be the difference between a quick exit and a deep postseason run. His ability to generate pressure against top-tier quarterbacks like Hurts, who's been sacked an average of 5 times per game, makes him an invaluable asset. The odds of the Cowboys making a Super Bowl appearance could be significantly improved with Hendrickson in the fold, especially considering the historical context. The Cowboys have always been known for their fierce pass rush, and adding a player like Hendrickson could evoke memories of past dominant defenses led by legends like DeMarcus Ware, who set the standard for relentless edge rushing. Now, let's not forget that this move would be a clear signal of the Cowboys' intent. It's about making a statement that they're all in this season. The trade, if it happens, would serve as a catalyst for their front seven, transforming it into one of the most formidable units in the league. Hendrickson's presence would influence the entire defense, forcing offenses to account for him, freeing up other pass rushers, and creating more opportunities for turnovers and sacks. It's a move that could elevate the Cowboys from a good team to a great one, especially in the critical moments of the season when games are decided by a few key plays. Looking at the odds, the Super Bowl futures have shifted somewhat, with the Cowboys now viewed as more serious contenders with this potential addition. Their odds, which were around plus 8,000, could tighten to around plus 3,800 if Hendrickson joins the team, reflecting the increased confidence in their championship potential. His impact as an X-factor in the playoffs is undeniable. With a 14% higher win probability against quarterbacks like Hurts, Hendrickson's presence could be the difference in those high-stakes moments that decide who takes home the Lombardi Trophy. In conclusion, folks, this trade rumor isn't just about adding a player. It's about transforming the Dallas Cowboys' identity as a team that's willing to make bold moves to win now. Hendrickson's relentless pursuit, proven production, and veteran savvy could be the final piece the Cowboys need to solidify their front and steer them toward their ultimate goal, another Super Bowl victory. It's about creating a defense that strikes fear into opponents, a unit that's capable of dominating in the postseason, much like the great defenses of the past. If this trade happens, it could be remembered as one of the smartest moves in recent Cowboys history, a move that redefines their identity and sets them on a path back to the summit of the NFL. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you believe Hendrickson could be the game-changer Dallas needs to finally get over the hump and chase another Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest Dallas Cowboys news. Whether it's rumors, game analysis, or player stories, we've got you covered. Thanks for sticking with us, and as always, let's keep the Dallas Cowboys spirit alive.